Well, hi there, and welcome back. This is Quest for You. I'm Janine, and this is another episode that is meant for you, to help you, to motivate you, to guide you, to find who you are, what you want to do, and get out of this life. Today, I want to share a speech I gave at my Toastmasters Club a week ago. And you may remember that recently I talked about climbing quite a bit. I recorded episodes on why other people climb, and then I shared with you why I climb. And in preparation for this speech, I actually used those episodes to dive into it even more deeper and to really search what it is that draws me to climbing. And I am actually heading off for a week of some work, but a lot of climbing, which I have never done. I've never climbed more than 2 days in a row. So this will be new for me. It probably will be very challenging, physically demanding, but I'm so excited. And I want to share this with you. I thought it'd be a good time to share this speech. Now, it's a short speech. Usually at Toastmasters, we have just about 5 to 7 minutes, which I always struggle with. I always go over. But I really tried hard at condensing what it is that draws me to climbing and also what I want my audience to get out of. Because at the end of the day, I share my passion with you, not because I want you to climb, but I want you to find your passion. I want you to dig within yourself and maybe experiment with activities that give you the same feelings that climbing gives me. So with that, I'll share my speech with you. And as I record this, have clothes laying all over my floor, trying to pack. And this episode may come out when I'm on the trip or maybe when I'm back. But I give it to you from all my heart because climbing means a lot. But you mean a lot more to me. And I want to be a part of your journey. So here it goes. Why I climb. Back in March, I received a strange invitation. Let's go watch the sunset from a place you have never been to. I do almost anything for a sunset, and I love surprises. I had an inkling this would involve climbing. I went along with my friend, a little scared, somewhat curious, but mostly skeptical. Why would anyone in their reasonable mind hang on for dear life when you could be sitting on the couch, warm and comfortable, watching a movie? I couldn't really see the allure in this risky sport. That chilly Thursday evening, I put on some strange gear and uncomfortable shoes, and then placed my hands and feet wherever my friend's words guided me. And before I could comprehend what just happened, I found myself standing on top of a small crag in the Berkeley Hills, just in time to watch a beautiful early spring sunset. I was in awe. Something that seemed impossible an hour ago suddenly was achieved. Adrenaline was rushing through my body. I couldn't go to sleep that night for hours. I had to do this again. And I did. A couple of times at first, in the gym, just to see. Maybe this was a fluke, something novel that would wear off with time. But 1 week turned into several months. I invested into shoes and climbing gear. During the week, I learned basic techniques in the gym, and as the weather turned warmer, I spent entire weekends in the mountains. I signed up for meetup groups. There and online, I met other climbers, and we organized trips together. Climbing became my new passion that takes up considerable amounts of my already limited time. I couldn't help but wonder, why? Why climbing? Mountains, I like them, but I never loved them. I've always been more of an ocean girl. That's why I moved to California, or so I thought. The more I climbed, the more it became clear that climbing is more than just a fascination with a new sport. Climbing found me because I needed it. It is a challenge. I like challenges, but I rarely seek them out. I get comfortable with my routines and feel safe knowing what's next. Climbing has disrupted my structured life in a positive way. I find overcoming a real-life obstacle more gratifying than watching actors reproduce them on a screen. Climbing historian James Ramsey Ullman said it best. Challenge is at the core and mainspring of all human activity. If there is an ocean, we cross it. If there is a disease, we cure it. If there is a wrong, we right it. If there's a record, we break it. And finally, if there's a mountain, we climb it. Every time I approach the base of the mountain, I feel a mix of emotions that I don't experience in any other area of my life. Excitement for the upcoming adventure. Immense focus for the task at hand. A reverence for the wonder of nature in front of me. And fear. Lots of fear. Climbing is a battle with my mind. Our brains don't like newness. Risky situations signal danger, and we seek to avoid them at all costs. It would rather have us stay on that couch and eat popcorn instead of trekking through the wilderness, not knowing what lies ahead. What are you thinking, Janine? You cannot climb this. You don't have the skills for this. Remember, you just started a few months ago. Climbing forces me to control my mind, instead of allowing it to run me. Yes, you can climb this, Janine. Just figure it out. This makes me resourceful, more creative, and pushes me to dig deeper within myself. And it teaches me to persevere in the face of difficulty. Climbing involves my entire being. It teaches me presence, both mental and physical. As someone who is always 2 conversations ahead and rarely listens attentively, it's time for me to improve. When I am stuck in a small gap between 2 rocks, with my knees jammed in front of me so I don't fall literally several feet through the crack, I can't afford to check Instagram or worry about what's for dinner. No climbing surface or route is quite like another, involving the entire body musculature. I am an expert with repetitive motions. I swim, I run, I lift weights. Climbing forces me to think about my movements in new and creative ways. The mountain doesn't accept shortcuts. I can't skip forward or copy and paste. I have to find the answers within my body and my mind. After months of regularly climbing, discovering places I wouldn't otherwise visit, and meet interesting people I would never cross paths with, I realized that climbing has changed my life. It has pushed the boundaries of what I thought I could achieve. It has woken me up to the beauty all around us. It has humbled my confidence, and at the same time, it has built it up. And when I reach the summit, it brings incredible joy and gratitude for the amazing life I am able to live. Just a couple of weekends ago, in the Shawnigan Mountains in upstate New York, where the rock is more vertical and overhanging than anywhere I have ever climbed, where I use chalk, which I never use because my hands are wet with fear. That is where I realized the mountain represents the obstacle to the internal challenges I need to conquer. While climbing it, I face it like a mirror that confronts me with my fears, my insecurities, and my weaknesses. And it tests me to see if I can overcome them. And this, my friends, is why I climb. Much love.